You're listening to short inspirations from Ralph. Insecurity, the bane of many leaders. Part 1. You know, having been a leader for many years and also being alongside other leaders and helping other leaders, I would have to say that the number one thing that leaders struggle with would be their own insecurities. That's true of my own journey, and it's true of many others. But the issue is that when we get into leadership, when we get into a position of people following us, insecurities tend to get amplified. And by the way, when we're talking about leadership, we're talking about anyone who has influence over other people. It could be parenting, for example. It's not just bosses at work or pastors of churches. So when insecurities dominate our lives, then firstly we can see things that aren't there. I call them ghosts. It's really our imaginations that can go wild. At the very least, we can exaggerate wrongly people's intentions. Secondly, we can overreact to situations where we leave a person wondering what they said or what they did to upset us. Thirdly, we can take things personally where there was never any intention for this to happen. And fourthly, we can end up detaching or becoming remote from those we should be leading and caring for. This is a form of self-protection. John Maxwell said this. He said, "You cannot lead people if you need people." What did he mean by that? If you need people's acceptance and approval, if you want everyone to like you and everyone to agree with you, you'll never lead them. Why is this? It's because the right decision that needs to be made may jeopardize those relationships. Truth and honesty can go out the door. And here's another saying: a codependent relationship seldom goes forward. Codependency is a circular relationship in which one person needs the other person, who in turn needs to be needed. The codependent person, known as the giver, feels worthless unless they are needed by and making sacrifices for the enabler, otherwise known as the taker. So in order to lead people effectively, or pastor a church, or be a leader of an organization, you are not always going to be liked. You are not always going to be popular. Once we resolve this, once we accept this, we can become a much more effective leader. You could argue that some people are people pleasers by nature, but also there are some people that have deep insecurities in this area, possibly because of rejection in the past. They want to be loved, they want to be accepted. And if this is the case, my strong suggestion is to unravel some things that are troubling you with a trusted person or with a counsellor. And here's a little hint. When you are feeling discouraged with people, leading people, think of Moses. He led millions of complaining Jews for 40 years and never arrived where he is supposed to go. Complaints, letters, mumbles, moans, lack of progress. I think Moses half the time talked to God about killing the people, and the other half Moses was stopping God from doing the same thing. It's great that they never agreed at the same time. Here's another hint. There's nothing wrong with apologizing to followers or employees or staff or people if you know that you really mucked up on something. That will actually display strength rather than weakness. Keep listening. God bless you.